Hello again, welcome back to JDM. So, first things first, the way that this was supposed to go is I was supposed to be filming two separate videos. One being the underside of the car, as in the rusty underneath that I'm redoing and repainting and all that kind of stuff and making all fresh. And second one being the actual front suspension parts, which, again, I'm getting rid of the rust, making fresh, and all that kind of stuff. So, you're going to see this is like one whole video now, I've changed my mind. So, it might not make a little bit of sense, and someone filmed all out of sync, but when it all goes together, hopefully it'll make sense by the time you guys see it. So that's the main thing, because I've been that busy doing other things, kind of lost my plot, and yeah, I've done with excuses really. I kind of lost my plot, that's the truth of it. First things first, go check out the new website, jdmescape.com, new t-shirts, new hoodies and stuff all going on there. Change suppliers, things like that I've worked out, and we are now doing more flexibility, more promotion, stuff like that. So anyway, without me talking anymore, let's get on to the R33 Skyline. The front suspension, the whole subframe off it, we stripped it all off in a previous video. If you didn't watch that, go back and check it out. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start taking all the rust off it and clean it up, refresh it, paint it. And now I did consider powder coating these because I know that's what a lot of people do, but let me show you something I tried. If I lay it next to the other one. So it started out like that, which is how they came off the car, rusty, pitted, not very nice at all, but the bushes are all good. So this one here, I actually went over it with a wire wheel on the grinder, took all the rough edges off, all the nasty rust, and then ultimately primed it and painted it. Now, I don't know if you can see on camera, but this is not the final colour, this is just a colour that I had, but it actually came out quite nice. So I thought, right, okay then, well if we can do the whole front end like that, I can choose whatever colour I want and I'll just paint it rather than pay for a powder coating job. But, you know, before we can do that, we've got to strip all the rust off that, and so on. What we also need to do is pop these ball joints out because we've got new ball joints coming and they're knackered anyway, so they're no good to anybody. But, problem is with this one, I can only get so far in with the wire wheel, obviously. So what I'm thinking is, I'll degrease it, jet wash it off, and we'll just go at it from everything I can get. Other than that, don't worry about it, you know how it is. But in the meantime, enough talking, get the wire wheel, start grinding, and clean everything up. Okay, so that's, I've done one side. See if you compare the two, if I put them next to each other. That's a big difference as far as just giving it a go with the grinder. Obviously I actually just time-lapsed it so you could see it better, but real time, less than 10 minutes for that big piece, which has got a lot of different angles. This one, I popped the ball joint out as well, so we could get everywhere around it without doing the new ball joint, and then we'll put the new one afterwards. Again, big difference just for a few minutes with the grinder. That one was about 3 minutes tops for that one. Oh, wrong side. But mainly, get that done, and then that I've gone over very quickly as well with the grinder just to get the orange off it, and that's had a little bit of a degrease the front subframe as well. So what we'll do is we'll get those hung up and start priming those, and then we'll start looking at grinding the others off. I think there's only those two. Oh no, those two and that one to go. They just need grinding off, and then we'll get everything in primer and it'll look different. Okay, so the first 5 bits, I'll show you the second 5 bits, hanging up on the indoor washing line. So they're all dusted off and all like clean and ready to prime. So next step, one thing I've just remembered, I might have to recolor the one that I did originally, but we'll see how it turns out. Oh, and I'll show you the paint as well. Haven't done that yet. Hold that. So, this is the colour I've always wanted to try, and hence the reason I'm doing things this way is I've always wanted to try painting them rather than powder coating. Yes, I know that you could get a better finish if you were like, you know, blasting them off with the sandblaster and then powder coating as well. It's more durable and all that kind of stuff, but I wanted to try this, so here I am. It looks really different in the lid, so I'm just going to show you the lid. So this is, I don't know if you can see it on camera, It looks really weird. If you look at it around the rim though, that's kind of the best representation. So this is a candy purple base coat. It looks a little bit different on tin, as I say. It looks really dark, but once it goes on, if it goes over the white primer like I'm hoping it will, it'll look quite good on all the metal. So the way I'm going to have to do this is I'm going to have to do these 5 first, because that fills up my washing line. And then we have to look at the anti-roll bar and the subframe separately. And then we'll see where we are at that point. But let's stop talking and listen primer. Okay, so I did the dust coat with the camera in my hand, as you saw, but I had to actually put it down to do it properly so I could keep hold of everything, because obviously when you're hitting it with air, it blows away. You could actually do this with a rattle can, it'd be doable and quite frankly just as easy, but here we are, we've got what we've got. So, they are all now in epoxy primer, and coverage is pretty good, texture is not bad for what they are. Bottom line is these are going to be under the car, so nobody's ever going to really see them. That's the main thing. So there, I'm happy with that. Right, let's get some purple on. Right, and there we go, top coat is on, and we've now done the clear coat as well. So, they actually turned out really, really nice, if I'm honest. Probably a little bit too good to be under the car, but you know, that's how it is. So I'm quite happy with that. Way nicer than that rusty finish it was before. But it's even got a little bit of a shine to it, which hopefully the clear coat will protect it when it's down there. So, what we're going to do now is change the washing line over, strip all those down, get the subframe sorted and anti-robot, and I remembered that I'd not done those as well, because I kind of left them in the car and completely forgot. So, we need to get those cleaned up and hung up, painted as well. So, let's get to that. There we go. All these big crazy parts now hung on the washing line. So, what the hell's that? Spider's web. Thanks, mate. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, anti-roll bar done, front, upper arms, and the big old subframe. They look alright. They're only in primer, an epoxy primer at the moment, but you know, it looks alright. Obviously, they want to be perfect because 1, they're not powder coated, and 2, they haven't been sandblasted, so you're never getting all the little corners and stuff like that. But as I said before, I just wanted to do it myself and just see how it turns out, because realistically, most of the arms and stuff like that, I believe you can get like aftermarket ones. So realistically, at some point, they're all going to get replaced anyway. So there's not much point. Subframe, as far as I know, subframe's just subframe. So we'll stick with that for now. But almost forgot those little buggers as well for the anti-roll bar bushes. So that's done as well. So we're going to let them dry off, and then we'll put some purple on and see how it turns out. We're going under the R33, and this is what she looks like. Overall, it's not actually too bad. There's just quite a bit of surface rust, as you can see. So, the plan is today, that's the other seal obviously. The plan is today to get the wire wheel on the grinder and go over all the surface rust to get rid of all of that, so that it all goes kind of the same, kind of like we did with the engine bay, and then lay some rust treatment on it and followed by some primer. So let's get in with the messy jobs. I won't be filming this because the camera will get covered in it, like my face will probably in the next clip that you see. So that clip was actually filmed a little few weeks ago because I barely spent any time on the car since then. So let me show you where we're at now. So since that clip, I've actually been pretty busy under there. As you can see, most of it is stripped back. It's now bare metal. Did a little bit of rust treatment on it, some of it, that is not all of it yet. And there we go, and I got to find out how much welding I'm going to need to do, which brings me to my next point. Now, if I'm honest, it's not that bad. There is some there that you can just see on the sill, a little bit up there, and where is it? A little bit further back. It just needs doing as well. Nothing massive, nothing major, so that's what I'm going to get to now. And then the plan is from there to just knock all the rust off it underneath again, treat it, prime it, and start making it one again. I've got a little bit of welding now, which I'm not going to show you because it actually turned out really weird. And I think it's because of the rust treatment that I put on in there as well. It kind of burnt it and reacted to it one thing or another. But nonetheless, I'll bring it down, I'll show you. So, Entire under the car now is welded up where it needs to be and plastered in rust treatment, which can sit for tonight because it's end of day now, basically. So that is that, and I'll give you one last look at how these things turned out. So those, the ones that are now dusty, inevitably, are the ones from before. That was the first lot that was done. That was the sample one that was done in the other car, so that's different. They actually turned out really well. Little bit dusty, as I said. I'll be honest, those I completely forgot to clear coat, so they are not happy at all and not good. So the paint is roughly, very roughly, but I didn't clear coat them. I messed up. So front subframe, front anti-roll bar, looking really, really nice. There's a couple little bits where I've made mistakes, but I was quite happy to just call it because bottom line is they're going to be under the car, as I said before, and then the top upper arms as well turned out again really nice. So once all this stuff goes on the freshly painted underside, it should all look really, really nice and really happy. So that's where we're going to leave this video. Next video, we are going to epoxy prime first the underside of the car, front wheel arch hose, and after that then we can sort of, I think I'm just going to like underseal it just so that it'll all be black, it'll all be clean, and it'll all be one, like nice and together, so, and more or less be protected. So that's kind of my plan there. So like I said, make sure you subscribe, and that's what's happening in the next one, and then we'll start putting all this stuff on once the underside of it's primed and painted, which should be in a couple of days. So this is going out today, this video is going out today, and then I'll try and get another one out tomorrow. So thanks for watching, see you again soon.